Hello YouTube, this is Total War Seraphim bringing you the 7th game in the FIB, the Faction Inheritance Battle. I am proud to be presenting this game between Patronus of the VM clan playing as Seleucids and James of the TWR clan playing as Nervi. Let's jump right into the game, huh? Alright, well first up we're going to take a look at TWR James's build is playing as Nervi. On the right flank we have Celtic Warriors, Oathsworn, Fierce Swords. In the center, we have an Oathsworn, Celtic Warrior, Oathsworn. And for the left flank, we have a Celtic Warrior out front, Oathsworn, Fierce Swords. For skirmishers, we have this lone Celtic Slinger. For cavalry on the right flank, we have a Mighty Horse. In the center, we have 2 mercenary dramatic scout riders. And on the left flank, we have 1 more Mighty Horse. Now we're going to take a look at VM Patronus's build. Most of it's hidden at this point, so I'm gonna play a little bit and try to catch up. We've got pikemen out here. We've got another pikeman. Looks like 4 pikemen right down the center. Excuse me, 3 with Hellenic Cataphract General, 2 Thorax Swordsmen on the left flank. We've got a Median Cavalry, 2 on the left flank. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like 5 Eastern Slingers. We've got a Thorax Swordsman, 2 Thorax Swordsmen, and 2 Median Cavalry making up the right flank. I find these builds quite interesting. It seems like James has opted to come skirmisher light, expecting possibly the pikes of the Seleucid build. But again, we see pikes being used as a center formation with no, Celtic Warriors to support the infantry. So, you know, I figure they have a better chance with a bit of variety as far as infantry go. So the Thorax Swordsmen again moving out to the flank. The Eastern Slingers forming up behind the pikes. So it looks like flank for flank. I think the Nervi have this just with the Oathsworn, and the Slingers, they're definitely outmatched when it comes to the skirmish power. So it seems like if VM Patronus can maybe skirmish James, he might be able to cause enough damage. But that takes time, and I suppose that's what pikes are good for, is they give you time. But you can already see he's dividing his flanks up. His left and right are moving farther out from the middle, because he knows he can't come face on with those pikes. So the Eastern Slingers come out here, and again, man, this range of them, I always forget about this. Look at that range, it's unbelievable. So he has to pull his men back, and he's going to take a few shots in the back. The Oathsworn retreat, as do the Celtic Warriors. But man, oh man, that range, I never get used to it. He's making a quick charge here with the skirmisher cav, seeing if he can get in here, which is really smart against these skirmishers. The other slingers don't seem to be supporting at the moment, but he pulls them away at the last second before the pikes can come down. Very, very gutsy move. Very, very gutsy move for James. Patronus seems to be lining up in an attempt to see if he can facilitate a better engagement. He pulls his cavalry away from that engagement, possibly scared of getting countercharged. Thorax Swordsmen are moving away, and it looks just like the tip of these 2 units are going to meet, and as such, the Celtic Warriors are going to get into the back of that pike unit. But that, in turn, leaves them open to a flank shot, which was very, very well timed by Patronus. And he comes in here and does a lot of damage. The Oathsworn moving out to the left flank, while he gets a Mighty Horse charge here into the Thorax Swordsman, and that's going to cause a lot of damage, especially because it was in the rear. It's a great timed move. These Celtic Warriors get caught against the front of the pikes, and they quickly retreat from that. The Raiding Horse and the Swords are coming in here to support against the Median Cavalry, against the 2 Median Cavalry. The Hellenic Cataphract General is also making its way over here, and as such, the Mighty Horse of James is being pulled away. The Raiding Horse looks like it's going to lose this battle, but it is quickly being reinforced. These these Celtic warriors are taking a lot of sling fire, and they rout, and that's again great use of the slingers, especially as they have time behind those pikes. But it does seem like the Nervi are getting the best of these flank engagements. Here again, the mighty horse and the Celtic warriors are getting into it with the thorax and the median. And again, the pikes just forming these static defensive formations, which in this instance with 5 slingers isn't a bad idea at all. But the Oathsworn is being moved around the flank, and if it can complete that surrounding maneuver, it might be dangerous. Mighty Horse being brought in here to chase away the Median, but ooh, what good timing! This other Median is brought in and countercharges the Mighty Horse. Oh, that's vicious. That was a great hit. Great timing on that. James is bringing this. The raiding horsemen in here to try to tie down the slingers, because they really are the threat at this point. They're the ones pouring in this fire, and oh man, oh, it gets caught up on the edge of this slinger. Ooh. All right, well, the thorax swordsmen are still here duking it out, and they look like they've been surrounded. And this mighty horse is being moved around to the back in order to get into it. Oh, and he pulls the raiding horseman through the center and really ties down all those skirmishers all at once. So now this thorax swordsman is up against the Celtic in a straight up engagement. Excuse me, the Oathsworn. Ooh, not good for the thorax. Mighty horse is out here routing the Median. The 2 mighty horses and the Celtics were able to successfully take that flank. So now looks like James has a surround starting to go, but he's got to get rid of those skirmishers before they pick apart most of the units. The Celtic slingers in here firing, they're really not a target that should be too worried about. Their ability to cause damage is quite low, but their ability to take damage is quite high. The Oathsword general seems to be content to sit out here. I don't know if he's engaged in this. Thorax swordsman and the Median cavalry are both losing, and now, yep, both are crumbling. So now the left flank has fallen to James. As well as the right flank, and that means that the pikes can only form the static position as the skirmishers have time to fire. And James does have enough cavalry at this point to come in here and put some hurt on these slingers, who have their back turned. Looks like they're firing in the wrong direction. Oh no! Oh man, big blob of skirmishers. They're so hard to micro. So I totally understand this. So the other mighty horse seems like it's looking for a target, and it settles on this Median cavalry, which is turned at the last moment to countercharge it. Good timing on both players. But the skirmishers, the damage is done. They're tied down, and now the pikes are forming in as they do in an attempt to keep all the units out of this. But from the looks of it, it's too late. So James is now pulling out some of his cavalry, and Patronus is forming a static formation. Now in the rules I did state that you could form enclosed structures, but you couldn't close them off. And so far here, Patronus has not closed off this structure, and as such, this is totally legal. Out here, the Hellenic Cataphracts get into it with the Mighty Horse, and it looks like the Mighty Horse won that engagement. The Hellenic Cataphract must not have got a charge in. And so now the general of Patronus is dead, the Seleucids, and he's firing as quickly as he can with these eastern skirmishers in an attempt to cause as much damage as he can, but he's got some tough high armor targets out there like the Oathsworn. Mighty Horse being pulled away from this engagement, while another Mighty Horse comes in for another charge, but this Fierce Sword looks like it's about to crack, and it does. So there is some cavalry support left for Patronus. But with the pikes, I don't know how well that's going to work for him. And here James slips a unit in and is able to attack these pikes in the rear, which is, I suppose, pretty much what you have to do with pikes. The skirmisher is targeting them as quickly, as effectively as it can, trying to get flank shots in to knock off as many pikes as possible. Now here, I find this a bit questionable because he does form a pike triangle, and in the rules I said you could form pike formations, but you couldn't close them off. And as you can clearly see here, he does form a triangle. I was a little worried watching this replay because I don't like to get involved when I have to call games or when I have to arbitrarily decide who wins or loses. I'm not a big fan of that. So we'll just see how this plays out. Looks like these thorax swordsmen have been isolated here. They can't quite make it into the center of the pike triangle. These Oathsworn have made it into the back of the pikes, and as the pikes try to reform, they're taking a lot of damage, and they're actually starting to waver, which is interesting. But no, they stabilize. They stabilize here at the last moment. So 90 men left in this pike unit, and it looks like the Oathsworn is in headhunt, so it's doing its job pretty effectively. Out here, the Medians get into the Celtic skirmishers, but they're unable to finish them off, which I find interesting. I don't know exactly what happened there, but they must have been tired or just weren't quite effective there. Gonna bring this charge right into the front of the pikes. I question this. Those pikes pretty effectively stopped the Fierce Sword charge, and it doesn't look like he gets many men down the line. Only a few get in there. So I mean, you know, frontal charge is not always the best way to take pikes, as I'm sure we all know. So the Oathsworn general is forming up here, and I like this, a more bunched up formation. If you attack the sides of the pikes, you have a much better chance. Like here, he was very fortunate that he got into him lucky. 80 men left in his pike, and it is surely being chewed away. Now the Celtic slingers are attacking the back of the pikemen here, and causing damage. And this is what you want to do with slingers and any skirmishers you have left is target the opposite end of the pike. So anyone with their back turned, and they take substantial damage. Now with 150 men, that can sometimes outlast your ammo, and I find that a little tedious. I'll be honest. But it does mean that you need to ration your ammo a lot more effectively. Now here he brings a mighty horse right into the back of these pikemen, and oh man, oh wow, James, I love that. I love that. The fierce, frenzied charge right into the back of pikes. That is the way to break them. Patronus is now in disarray, and he's down to his last pikeman. The writing's on the wall. So well played to both players. Very exciting game. I really enjoyed it. So we have the Oathsworn out here. We got 49 kills, 51, 273, 147. Wow. Raiding Horseman, Mighty Horse, 97. Yeah. Celtic Slingers, 117. For Celtic Slingers, that's quite a bit. 104 kills with that Fierce Sword. Patronus, Hellenic Cataphract, 57 kills. Median Cavalry, 106, 94. That's decent. But your Eastern Slingers, wow, 20, 30 kills. It's a lot of slingers, and they're hard to manage. I understand. Thorax Swordsman, 146. Pikemen, 0, 11, 17, 38, as we've come to expect from pikes. So I wanted to say thank you very much to both players, VM for Patronus of the VM clan and James of the TWR clan. I want to thank you both very much for submitting this game. I had a wonderful time spectating and commenting, and I really appreciate it. This is Total War Seraphim, signing off. Be well.